I think I'm live. Okay, looks like I'm live. Let's go check everything to make sure that that is indeed the case. Uh, let's go to just thinking. Somebody should shout at me, let me know what's going on. Say something. Yeah, I see I'm live. All right. Live on YouTube. Let's go check and see how we're doing on the other on Facebook for Just Thinking. And we're live there too. All right. Man, this worked. You have to forgive me if I'm a little excited that we actually pulled it off. So yeah, we're live in both spots. Good. All right. Let's turn that off. King. Okay. I do not want to hear my voice in that space. Awesome. We are live. Our first Facebook Live event. Got a lot of information to share with you all and connect with you all and get you up to speed on what's going on. I was so excited to get back. Been on the road, traveling, doing a whole bunch of just incredible things, incredible opportunities that God has given, and I could not wait to get back and to share with you. If you're here, you're connected with me. I see folks are joining in all over. Definitely comment. Let me know you're there. I see Josie. I see Sarah. Good to see you. Glad to have you in this mix. If you would let me know you're there, that would be fantastic. Brianna, I'm sorry. Brian is on YouTube. Great to have you here, Brian, as well. We got a number of folks that have joined on both platforms. Definitely would love it if you would shoot us a comment on either platform. That way I can see kind of what's going on. That helps me to know what's going on. Carol's on Facebook, catching us there, Facebook Live. Rebecca, hey, what's going on? Rebecca is on YouTube. Alicia Whipple, hey, you're on YouTube. Terry Nab, you're all right with me. You are all right with me. Noxtic looks like. Awesome. Appreciate you. Thanks for joining. Karen, Jerry, Robert, Deborah, they're starting to all come in. Good. Making sure that we're live in both spots and have some comments going on. This will be a night for you all as well, listening from Lexington, South Carolina. Thank you so much for joining us. This will be a night for you all as well, because I would love, man, let me know where you're from. I love this. North Carolina there, from Austin, Texas there. I see my main man, Daryl's in the building, so he'll be checking in with us and probably answering stuff as well. From where he is, Chris Huff, what's up, Doc? We're here, we're live. This is an opportunity for you as well. Hi, from Oklahoma. So thankful for your podcast. Hey, Boomer Sooner from Oklahoma. Will, what's up? Listen, this is an opportunity for you to connect with us, to ask questions, to maybe have some of your questions answered. I'm happy to do that as well. Josh from South Alabama, Honduras. Robert from joining us from Honduras. That's great. Man, it's starting to come in. Good. From Washington State, Edward. Good. Gnostic is from Houston. Northern Illinois, Brian. Did you see the tweet I sent you on ADOS? I'm at this point, I can't answer that. I'd have to go back and look. It's been a minute. Today has been kind of fast and furious. It's been absolutely crazy. Just trying to take care of business after having been gone for quite some time, and so it's been a little bit different. But yeah, a lot of info that I want to hit you all with as you begin coming in. Swain, good to have you there. Kioki, great to have you from Honolulu. Ashley in Mississippi. Maryland in Prophetstown, Illinois. That's great. Glad to have you. James in Orange County, California. Man, it is tough out there in California, man, on the serious. So Good deal. Sarah from Central Illinois. Lori, thankful for y'all's podcast from Florida. Thank you so much. Dolores, greetings from Ohio. Brian, African descendants of slavery. Good deal. Tony Gibson. Hey, man, from Florida. Hey, what's going on? Jeannie. I got to say that right. Linda. Man, these are coming up so fast. Y'all are starting to come in. Oh my hee. What's up, Trey? What's going on, my man? Christina from Metro of Detroit. James, Jill. All right, good deal. Well, as y'all are beginning to kind of come in and get acclimated to what's going on, do us a favor. If whatever platform you're in, I love the comments. I love knowing where you're from, but also hit us with a like. We want to know that you're there. The fact that when we do these, you're there, you give us engagement. That lets us know that we need to continue doing these. I'm going to tell you, you're going to get the inside scoop on a whole host of things, and want to share that with you. If you're on YouTube, and you want to support the ministry, hit us with a super chat. That would be awesome. We would greatly appreciate that. But we just want to share with you what's been going on with us, with Just Thinking, where we're headed, what's around the corner. We want to say thank you so much for your prayerful support. It means the world to us. We get to do what we do, and it's a blessing to have you all there as a part of the family of the Just Thinking podcast. I know Daryl and I have talked many a time, and have thought not in a million years would we have ever thought that the show would be as incredibly popular as it is, and have so many people from all over the country checking in with us. We were just traveling recently, had a couple of spots. I'm going to talk about what we did and where we were and give some shout outs to all of that. But it was amazing to be in different spaces and to have the love, the appreciation for the show, and people just encouraging us along the way is incredibly encouraging to both Daryl and I, and just really thankful for you guys. I see all of these, all of your remarks, and I just want to stop and answer every one of them. Joe says, love you guys, appreciate what you do. Joe from Hemet, California. I hope I said that right, Joe. At San Francisco Bay Area, Miss Kelly, Kathleen, hello, brothers. Sean, gotcha, man, from Denver, Colorado. Robert, the missus and I love your podcast. Keep it up, brothers. Thanks so much for that. Tony Alexander, Tennessee. What's up? Can you say Rumpelstiltskin 3 times? Yeah, no, probably not. Sarah Beth, watch the replay from Sunday night. It was fantastic. Awesome. Glad that you did that. Well, let me, I've got a number of things that I want to walk through and talk about. And for those of you who joined, if you listen, if you're on Facebook, share this on your social media page. Would love for you to share this live event on your social media page and tell others about it so they can join in. In the future, I will tell you this, we're going to be doing more of these, but they will be more private affairs. In other words, we really want to aim these kinds of messages, kind of background information on in the spaces where people are really engaging us in messages, kind of background information on. Yeah, let's do that. And what we want to do is we really want to give folks kind of some background information, kind of the hidden things that we're doing. They're really not hidden. It's just the way that we're planning the show, how we're planning it, what we're doing with our show, and we just want you to be the first to know. And what we're doing is we're going to have a page where if you've donated, maybe even as little as $5, we want to put you on our private page, give you access there, and let you know about what we've got coming up in the way of shows, what we've got in the way of merch, what we've got in the way of just some different things, so that you can kind of know ahead of time and be praying for us about what we've got going and what's happening with the show. So what's up, Verge? Big fan of the show from Bethlehem, Georgia. Bethlehem, Georgia. Do Do you pronounce it perfect? Oh, I did. So I did pronounce it perfect. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate that. Awesome. Let me start from the beginning, and I'm going to try not to watch the chat, because I love engaging the fans. I know that Daryl does as well. Man, it's always good to have you guys joining us. But again, share this on your page if you would. Tell others that I'm here, that I'm doing this live. We'll probably go for maybe 45 minutes or so. We'll see how this goes. If you guys stay engaged, and by engaged, what I'm looking for is you being here and maybe just hitting a thumbs up, hitting a like if you're on YouTube, hitting a like if you're on Facebook. And then that way we know that you're engaged, you're following, you're checking things out with us. All right. So let me kind of walk you through a few things. First, just welcome to this space. Daryl and the team of Just Thinking want to do this kind of thing more often, where we're engaging you live. You're hearing about topics, about subjects. Maybe we'll talk about a particular issue in a live space. We'll answer questions that you have in this live space. But we will probably in the future move this from less of a public thing to more of those who have donated. I want to stop at this point and just say, Daryl and I are overwhelmed by the support. You guys have been supportive in ways we would never have imagined. You guys have prayed for us. You've prayed for our families. You guys have, we've had people who sent us cards, letters, not all of them nice at times. Some of them are a little bit, they just want us to know kind of where they're coming from. Folks have sent us books that they want us to read. We're grateful for those. I've got a big, huge reading list. We're grateful for those. But others of you have taken the time and sent us a donation. And here's the crazy part. We have never, not to my knowledge, really pushed that. We have not really pushed, hey, donate. We just haven't. Daryl and I get on the microphone. We have our content ready to go, and we just go for it. But many of you have taken the time to say, I love what these guys are doing, and I want to support their ministry. And some of you have done so on Patreon. Others of you have gone to justthinking.me and just clicked the tab there and donated. Every single one of those donations we see, and we're blown away by it. We're grateful for what it's allowing us to do. It's allowing us to do some incredible upgrades. I haven't connected this yet. I got a microphone here. Let me show you the big boy, right? Got the microphone here. We're getting some additional cameras and things like that, so that we can perhaps move from an audio version of the podcast And so we are incredibly, incredibly grateful for your financial support, and it has helped us to be able to do that. We just wanted to take just a moment to stop and say thank you. Thank you so much for donating. Thank you so much for praying for us. We again, I'm at a loss for words for what you all have done to be supportive to us in that way. We cannot wait to use these new tools to bring you richer content, for it to be something even that much more engaging. And God has blessed us with a team of incredible people around us that have helped, are helping us with social media, with promotion, with speaking events, with graphics. With our web page, and then of course Dwayne is shepherding all of that at the top. It's just been absolutely amazing. We've been overwhelmed, and we're incredibly, incredibly grateful. So the big push to do this was simply for us to say thank you. Simply for us to say thank you so much for the support. We appreciate it. We also want to do something incredibly special for you. So if you've donated even as much as $5 in the past, we've got a Facebook page specifically targeted for you. And what we want to do is we want to do events like this where we're having more conversations, more content, and really engaging you kind of in that space in particular. You'll get an update as, hey, we're getting ready to do a live. Here's when it is. We want you to be there. We've got some things that we're doing. We want you to know about. So I wanted to make you aware of that. I also want to take just a minute to talk about where Daryl and I have been over the course of the last week or so. Last episode that we dropped was the Breonna Taylor and the gospel. Man, I should have got some. Excuse me. The last episode, my big old gallon of water here. The last episode that we dropped was the Breonna Taylor and the gospel episode. Dale just dropped the link there. If you're on Facebook, Dale just dropped the link. You can go to justthinking.me/support if you're wanting to be a part of the team that's providing financial support for us. I want to say this is the very first time that we've ever even asked our folks to donate or to support us. We're grateful for what you all have done so far, but you can go to justthinking.me/support to support us there. Man, if you're on YouTube and you want to drop a super chat in, that would be incredibly helpful as well there. It says, please put your stuff here. It's the only place I get my content. You guys are with Michael O'Fallon Sovereign Nations event. Yeah, good. I'm glad you saw us. So we had the Breonna Taylor and the gospel episode, and that episode has gone absolutely bonkers. Tens of thousands of downloads of that particular episode. Folks seem to really, really enjoy the content. While for us, it was kind of a freestyle in that we just kind of put it together and just kind of went for it. It was very, very similar to the George Floyd episode that we did, George Floyd and the gospel. We wanted to be consistent with what was going on there. And Daryl went off. I mean, he just kind of put the prophetic hat on and just kind of went there. And just really spoke with crystal clarity about the culture, about church culture in particular, and how they're embracing some things that just defy logic as it pertains to being believers, true believers, loving God, and the like. And so, what's a super chat? Forgive me for my ignorance. On YouTube, you can go and donate. If you're watching us live on YouTube, there's a way to donate there on the YouTube piece. And if you're not, don't worry about it. If you're more comfortable, you can go to justthinking.me/support. justthinking.me/support. What's up? Dwayne's in the building. And see, my guys are all checking on me, making sure I do this right. I got Dwayne. I got Chris checking on me. I got Daryl checking on me, and so I got to do this thing right. Anyway, that episode has done incredibly well. I want to encourage you to continue to listen to that, forward that. It's episode 104. You can go to justthinking.me/104. It's Breonna Taylor and the gospel. If you haven't heard it, listen to it. We've been getting a lot of great feedback from it. Folks really seem to like that. And so just want to encourage you to do that. Where we have been all over the place. This last week, Daryl and I were at an event at Sovereign Nations event in Tampa, Florida. The Great Awakening. Some of you may have had a chance to see, some of the info from that event. You can go to sovereignnations.com or events plural, events.sovereignnations.com. And you can see the event there, the information there. There were a number of amazing speakers that were a part of that. Michael O'Fallon, of course, headed it up. Dr. James Lindsay was there as well. Mathematician, author. Phil Johnson, of course, Phil Johnson, the executive director at Grace to You, the teaching ministry of John MacArthur. You had Tom Askell, who's there, the president of Founders Ministry. We love the guys at Founders, and most of you should know, if you don't, that Founders Press is the one. They're the ones that are doing our book. and that we'll have out soon, that we've been working on. And so excited about that as well. You had Rod Martin. He was there. Rod is just a great guy. Does some work behind the scenes with the Conservative Baptist Network. Josh Bice was there of G3 Ministries, the president of G3 Ministries. He was there and did a fantastic job as well. Of course, my man, Daryl Bernard Harrison, was there, lead host of the Just Thinking podcast and dean of social media at Grace to You, the teaching ministry of John MacArthur. So we had Ryan Heffenbein. I always mess up his name. I'm sure I messed it up just then. I won't try it again. Ryan Heffenbein. He is from the Falkirk Center. Falkirk is doing some great work. We love those guys at Falkirk. We're connected. Both Daryl and I are fellows with Falkirk. And so we love Ryan. We love the work that he's doing. If you haven't checked their work out, do so. Go on YouTube, connect with them as well. They're doing some great work. And Dr. John Cannell, he's a pastor down there. He is, in fact, is Michael O'Fallon's pastor. So we had a great lineup of speakers. They all spoke about the issues surrounding social justice, right? Social justice, and compared that to the gospel. We again just loved having the chance to speak down there. Daryl did a message. Daryl, you're in here, so you can help me remember the exact. I'm trying to pull it up. The name of the title of your message. Here it is. The problem is enmity, not ethnicity. The problem is enmity, not ethnicity. And he just knocked it out of the park. And if you haven't heard that, you can get on Facebook. You can get on Facebook and find it. Go to Sovereign Nations. They did a live stream, but you can also find it on YouTube. Go to Sovereign Nations, subscribe to them, and you can find all of the talks there on YouTube. After Daryl did that talk, Rod Martin did a talk on why syncretist Keynesian socialism would harm the church. Why syncretist Keynesian socialism would harm the church. And then after that, Daryl and I, after dinner, Daryl and I did a Q&A of what's behind Black Lives Matter. Listen, the Q&A was with Phil Johnson. It was awesome. It was awesome. We had a great time walking through the backdrop, what's behind BLM. A lot of this, listen, if you've listened to we've now recorded close to 6 hours worth of info on Black Lives Matter, right? You had Black Lives Matter ? Episode, I think that was episode 102. And then you had the Church of BLM. That was episode 103. Both of those were more than 2.5 hours in length. And so if you've listened to that content, you've heard a lot of the ground that we covered. Daryl, of course, brought some extra ammo with him, like he always does. And we just went for it during our Q&A during the Sovereign Nations event with Phil Johnson. So it was awesome time that we had there. After that was over with, as if I needed more to do, I had a chance to give my talk. And what I did was I did a historic review of Conianism, right, from James Cone, and Black liberation theology. I kind of went backwards. I said, what is the theology that is informing this current movement as it pertains to evangelicalism, both Black evangelicalism and white evangelicalism, if you will? How did Big Eva begin this embrace from the Black Lives Matter movement? So we went backwards in an effort to look and see where are the streams that this stuff comes from. So I traced it back. I talked about, I first looked at the civil rights movement, and I compared the civil rights movement of old in the 60s to the Black Lives Matter movement of today. And I showed how they are totally different from one another. And then from there, I went backwards and looked at how this current movement has been informed, how it got educated, how it was informed. I'm going to just encourage you, because there's so much ground that I covered in a 50-minute talk. I would encourage you to get on the Sovereign Nations website and go back through, not the website, go to the Facebook page or the YouTube page and listen for the talk that Daryl gave. The problem is enmity, not ethnicity. Check out that Q&A that Daryl and I both did on what's behind Black Lives Matter. And then finally, the similarities between Coneyism and the KKK, a historic review, was the one that I did. I actually compared James Cone and Black liberation theology to the theology of the Klan, and so with original source documents. So this is all original source stuff. This wasn't, hey, I kind of make this up and kind of insinuate that there's some links. No, I actually went and pulled the original source data and quoted from their own documents to show you that there were indeed similarities. So check that out. We had a great time doing that. In addition to that, we got a chance, man, probably one of the highlights. There were so many phenomenal highlights to our time at the Sovereign Nations event. But one of the great highlights, I'll kind of share with you a behind the scenes story that Daryl and I really kind of treasured. And that was, many of you know that Daryl and I both have been impacted tremendously by the teaching ministry of Dr. R.C. Sproul. And I know for me, I had always hoped to get to two places. I'd always hoped to get to California and to get a chance to meet one of the men who's had tremendous impact on my life, which is Dr. John MacArthur and his ministry. And just to say thank you for the impact that he had. The other was to get to a Ligonier event, a national Ligonier event, and get an opportunity to thank Dr. R.C. Sproul for his impact on my my theological education, knowledge, and understanding. Because of the fact that he passed away before I ever got that opportunity, the next best thing for me was to get the opportunity to meet his dear wife, Vesta Sproul. Vesta Sproul was at the Sovereign Nations event, and man, I think Daryl and I both, like, it's funny because we don't get we don't fanboy out, right? We kind of, I say that, and then I can remember one other person that we fanned out on. I'll keep that a secret, but we're just, hey, we're there. It's great to see these men of God who we love and respect and honor, and we appreciate their work. But we don't get kind of jaw drop. But we got a little starstruck when we saw little Miss Vesta Sproul, and she came in. And we both said, hey, I definitely want to say thank you, kind of get in her ear. At the same time, recognizing we're under COVID, there was social distancing in place, wanted to give her appropriate space. Daryl was like, I'm gonna get over to see her. And I'd walked out and walked back in. And by the time I'd walked back in, Daryl had already engaged her in conversation. And so, he was talking with her and engaged her. She was just wonderful, wonderfully warm, just very, very gracious, very kind to both Daryl and I. And then I kind of walked in as he was doing his thing. And of course, I wasn't going to let him get all the limelight, all the shine. I was going to introduce myself in the mix. And so I said, Mrs. Sproul, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Virgil Walker. I will never forget what she said. I'll never forget what she said. It was the highlight of my time. She said, she looked straight at me. She said, I know who you are. And I was like, you could have bought me for a nickel, man. You could have bought me for a nickel. About passed out. Like, I looked at Daryl and I tried to keep it real cool. Like, yeah, Vesta Sproul, she know her brother, Oh my gosh. I was just blown away. She, apparently knew Just Thinking, knew about us and knew what we did and the like. I have no idea how. I don't know if it was from Michael Fallon. I don't know if it was if it was Ryan Dick. I don't know who told her about it, but I was done. You could have bought me for a nickel, man. I was like, whoa. The next day, Again, this is kind of behind the scenes. I cracked up laughing. Daryl and I are downstairs in the lobby. We're having breakfast just kind of early. Daryl likes to get up and out very, very early. So we're downstairs eating, Daryl's got pancakes. I've got pancake. I just got what he got, pancakes and eggs. We're just chilling. And so all of a sudden, I look. In fact, Daryl said this to me, so military, right? The brother said, "Mrs. Sproul's at your 6." And I said, "What?" He said, "Mrs. Sproul is at your 6." See, I'm Air Force. He's Army, right? Air Force. It took me a minute, right? I didn't fly planes either, so I'm like at my 6. I'm 3. I'm 9. My 6 is. So I turn around and she rolls right up on us and is just there and is talking, and she's incredibly gregarious. And she said, I just, love you guys, and just was talking with us, and we're just loving every minute of it. She goes away, sits down, and both of us are just like, man, that was so cool. She comes back and she says to us, and I'll never forget this. She says, do you all watch Fox News? And I said, yeah. We said, yeah. She said, do you all know who Diamond and Silk are? We're like, yeah. She said, you guys are the Diamond and Silk of Christianity. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. And I knew she meant that in the greatest, kindest, most generous way, just of being warm. And both Daryl and I, we just laughed and thanked her and like it was a lot. I mean, it was amazing. We had a great time with her, but meeting her was probably for me, no doubt, the highlight of our time. So it was really, really great. Had a great time. There's so many stories I could tell you about the dinner, sitting at the table with Dr. James Lindsay, with Michael O'Fallon, with Tom Buck. With Tom Askell. Did I forget to mention Tom Buck in my lineup? I did, didn't I? I should have mentioned him. He showed up late. That's why he didn't get a mention. So who's Diamond and Silk, right? Terry, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I'll tell you, Google them later. You'll see. Google them later and you'll see. All right. I could tell you about the conversations that we had at the table. Just amazing time. It's one of those. It was one of those environments where there was so much, just brilliance at the table. Folks who I love and respect, who were there. That it was awesome to just sit and listen, and hear what their thoughts were about different issues and topics and subjects. Just a great time. So that was that. From there, man, we spent couple of days, got there Wednesday, had the pre-conference on Thursday and the conference on Friday. And then Saturday morning, I think Saturday morning, we had to leave early. We heard Tom Buck speak, and he did a fantastic job talking about woke hermeneutics. And I just want to listen. Let me say this to you. I know that in 2 or 3 weeks, they're going to have all of the videos of just the presentations. So it kind of cuts out all the live stream portion. But I want to tell you that the content of what Michael O'Fallon did was so incredibly rich. Every speaker brought it. Every speaker had done a fantastic job of researching their topic, and just landing the plane in a way that I think will be incredibly resourceful. It will be a resource that you'll want to go back to over and over and over again. It won't be one of those deals where, hey, I've listened to that one time and now it's over. It won't be that. You'll want to listen to it over and over and over again. You'll want to take a pen, some paper. You want to take notes. It was that rich. It was that deep. It was that good. So I just want to highly commend this to you as a resource. So definitely go to the YouTube page. Everything that Sovereign Nations does on the YouTube page is fantastic. So get on that, check that out, and see what your thoughts are there. We would leave there at noon because we had to head over to. We flew from Tampa to Dallas, from Dallas to Shreveport, Louisiana. to be taken over to Bossier City. Bossier City is the home of the church, First Bossier. The pastor there is Brad Jerkovich. And Brad is, man, he's such a good brother. We were brought there by our dear friend Lorraine Spratt, and Lorraine was gracious. She is I say she is a super fan. She is a super fan. She's been with us forever. Daryl and I give very few shout outs, very few shout outs on the podcast. She is one of those people who has a shout out because she's been with us for a long time, has listened to all of our podcasts. It's funny. She picked us up from the airport. And when she did, she had Just Thinking playing in the car. And so we were just going, it was crazy because I'm getting in the vehicle, getting picked up, hearing my own voice coming out of the speaker, which sounded way better coming out of her speaker than my own voice actually did. And so, they took us to First Bossier, where we had an incredible time. We got to meet Pastor Brad and his dear wife, Stephanie, and their beautiful children. Their family is just amazing. They had, during kind of the quarantine, they had reached out, I want to say, and Daryl can correct me, I want to say July timeframe, June, July timeframe, and said, hey, we want to bring you guys in. Hopefully this quarantine will be over. We want to bring you in early October and have you speak to these issues with specificity. And so we said, absolutely, we'd be glad to do that. So we did. We went there, and he had just one of the things I can say about Pastor Brad is he is a guy who's all about relationships. One of the things that I will never forget about him is he runs a church of somewhere in the neighborhood of about 2,500 people. And he took us on a tour of the church. The church is an 80-plus-year-old church whose buildings, because of a fire, had burnt down. And so he's in a massive remodeling, restructuring process. Just a phenomenal guy. One of the things that I will never forget about Pastor Brad was, as we walked through his church, and again, I've been a part of a mega church, the church that we're a part of here in Omaha. It's about 2,000 pre-COVID, right? On a Sunday, we'd see somewhere in the neighborhood of about 1,800 between three campuses. So I get the size and scale of that kind of a situation. So 2,500 people. And what was amazing about that was that every time we stopped to engage someone, every time he introduced someone to us, not only did he know their name and what they did, he talked at length about their contribution to the ministry there. Not only that, but he talked about the person's family. Hey, this is brother so and so. He's been with us this long, or hey, this is so and so. He just came on staff with us, and here or came. He come to our church, and here's what he's doing, and here's what he's been a part of, and man, he does this well, and here are his giftings, and his family, his wife is so and so, and she's a teacher at such and such, and there wasn't a place that we stopped where he didn't do that with someone who came up to us. And it was just, for all that he's doing in this massive rebuild of this 80-plus-year-old church that he's renovating, redoing, just, he knew people by name, and he knew their background, and he knew their family. And that part was amazing to me. His dear wife, I'll tell you about her. She was great lady. We in the Black church, we call them First Lady of the church, right? Great First Lady. She was there by his side, was taking care of the kids, and the kids, they were amazing as well. But the church opened that evening because we had a morning service and an evening service. And the evening service, they opened up a coffee shop, and where could she be found? Dressed just fit to kill, but she was behind the coffee stand making sure people got served with coffee. I mean, there's not enough kind things I could say about this church. Lorraine, who was gracious enough to get us there. She's been a fan of our show forever. and wanted us there, and then took the background. I mean, the kindness that was there was just amazing, just absolutely amazing. And so wanted to let you guys know about that, about them, and kind of what's going on with that. We had a great time there. Daryl preached the message, kind of did well with kind of restructuring it, taking the same message that he had and restructuring it for the setting that we were in, and really kind of personalizing it for the folks at First Bossier. And then I had the opportunity to do a message there that I delivered that was more, we had done so much with high theology and the like. I thought, man, this would be a great opportunity to do some kind of practical application and the like. And so that's kind of what we did in that space. Did a lot of practical app, and just managed it well. I did mine that evening, and then followed that up by a Q&A. Now, what you don't know, what you saw if you got on First Bossier, if you go to Facebook and you look up First Bossier, you can see Daryl just knock it out of the ballpark in the morning, during the morning session. And then during the evening session, you'll see my sermon and then a Q&A that Daryl and I did. What you don't see was all the stuff that we did in between. Pastor Brad had us back at 4 o'clock for this. There was a 6 o'clock service, but he had us back for 4. And what we did in that was we recorded kind of a live Q&A that he's gonna put together for the Conservative Baptist Network, which he provides oversight for. So we did that. Let me go backwards and tell you, and I know I'm jumping all over, but let me go backwards and tell you at the Sovereign Nations event, in addition to the talks that we gave and the Q&A that we did with Phil, we also did a couple of other things. We did an interview with Ryan Heffenbein of Falkirk. We had a great time. He sat us down, had the setup. Shout out to Christian Bedell, and Christian was kind of the assist for Ryan. He had all the lights and the camera and everything, angles and all that ready to go for us to do a sit-down Q&A. So we did that, and then we did another kind of one-off Q&A with the guys from Redeemer Bible Church in Gilbert, Arizona. Pastor John connected with us, and Pastor Kyle, he sat behind us. And so we got a chance to connect with them. We love those guys. You guys know Costi Hen, also is one of the elders there, one of the elders and pastors there at the church. Got a chance to connect with Pastor John and Pastor Kyle. Did a Q&A for them, and hopefully that will bless their church. So even while we were at these major events, we did a lot of kind of one-offs. We'd go behind the scenes and do a recording for this church or for that church. And while we were there, we were getting messages from other churches who wanted to do events with us as well. And so it was just an amazing, amazing time that we were there. If you're interested in having Daryl and I come and check things out, I would encourage you to get on the Just Thinking .me page and look for speaker requests. We got Chris Hall, who's now handling all of that for us. That way I don't have to try to figure out who I talked to last and put all those things together. Chris is now our guy who handles all of those events for us. And so we're grateful for him. Shout out to the folks at at Redeemer Bible Church, and then the guys at Falkirk. Actually, Ryan wanted us to go. He's got an event in Miami that's happening right now. I think Pastor Tom Askell is there. I think I saw Ali Stuckey was there, and so he'd asked me if I could go to that, and I'm like, I got to get home at some point and take care of business at home, and so that's kind of what went on there. I'm trying to think of anything else I could tell you about the First Bossier event. We took a tour of the church at First Bossier, their rebuild. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. Had a great time seeing what they're doing in their community and the like. And so that's what's up. I want to stop there, and I want to see what kind of questions that you may have, what that looks like, and respond to anything that you might have. I'll try to jump back and forth. I think I can capture all of the questions in this one space. So whether you're on YouTube or on Facebook, I should be able to capture any questions that you have. Thanks for sticking with us. I will ask, if you're on YouTube and or on Facebook, hit us with a like. That engagement helps us to know if this is a format that you like and enjoy. It's something that you'd like to see us do more of. We definitely appreciate it. Things that I could tell you. I want to tell you about what's coming up. And what's coming up is an episode that is going to be epic. We are doing an episode that we're calling The Doctrine of Elections. The Doctrine of Elections. And we're going to talk about what kind of theology should inform you as you get prepared to engage in going and placing your vote. Our goal will not be to, hey, you need to vote for this one or that one, but our goal will be, how do you exegete what you're experiencing in these platforms so that you're informed, biblically informed about what's going on? One of the things that I'm enjoying right now is watching what's happening. There's a movement afoot around trying to claim that you can't be, you have to be connected with Black Lives Matter in order to be pro-life, right? You're not fully pro-life unless you're woke. We're gonna hit some of that, man. We're gonna talk about some of that and address some of those things. Daryl has already sent me, Daryl, I don't know, is it 14 pages, 14 pages of work that I've got to go through already? My plan is over the course of the next 2 or 3 days to go through it and to walk it out. That way, we'll have an incredibly robust show for you guys. Be prepared for that. That show, be praying for us with regard to that show. We're going to be recording that show on Sunday, this Sunday, the 18th. It will drop on October 21st. It's going to drop on October 21st. Help us by sharing that with others. Help us now by sharing this live event with others. Let them know what's going on and that this was here. Let them know for a $5 donation, as much as $5. If you want to do more, you can. 500, 5,000, 500,000. We're good. We're good with all of it. If you want to donate that, you can go to justthinking.me/support. And we've got folks who are doing monthly donations, recurring donations. And again, we're so grateful for that. It's unexpected. Can't believe that folks are doing that, but we're incredibly grateful. And like I said, it's helping us to make some upgrades. I'm working on getting my microphone. If Dwayne is in, he'll be happy to see that I've got my microphone halfway connected. I've got some work to do still with that. We're getting some video equipment. So right now I'm being recorded on my laptop, camera. We got some good high quality cameras that are going to be coming in over the course of the next day or so, next few days, that we're hoping will be in time for us to record this episode. If not this next episode, if not, we'll have it for the following one. But all of this that we're able to do is because of your support. And man, I just want you to know we're grateful. We're grateful for all of it. We can't believe it. We're overwhelmed by it. And we want to just continue to focus on putting together incredible content for you, and all the stuff that will be helpful for you to continue to grow and be equipped and to be edified by what we're doing. So let me look here and see what we got in the way of questions. Can't wait. Kirk, are live Q&As on the horizon? They might be. Right now, Falkirk is talking to us about coming out to Liberty University. They want us to do a live Q&A on their campus, and so we're trying to work out the details of that. That's not something that's locked and loaded yet, but we're talking about that. That kind of thing is in the works. I wanted to say, if you're talking about live Q&As from this, yeah, I mean, I'm open to it. I think Daryl would be as well. It's just a matter of folks joining us and talking. I mean, like right now is a Q&A that you can engage in. I'm happy to answer any question that you might have. And Daryl, I think, is lurking somewhere behind the scenes. And I saw the Mrs. as well. Mrs. Harrison is somewhere in there. Yep, I see she's in there as well. engaged in the chat, so that's great. Dwayne is here. I thought I saw Chris earlier as well. So just thinking, podcast, are these sermons going to be backed up on YouTube? Yes. If you're talking about, the ones from Bossier, I don't know that they will be. In fact, I don't, because I don't think the YouTube page for First Bossier, if I remember correctly, was not, they had some hits and misses, just a little bit. I encouraged the pastor to do more in the social media space. He's doing some incredible work in that space. And so I do know that they are on the Facebook page. So if you go to First Bossier, you can see on their Facebook page both of those events. Daryl's in the morning, he took the, I think it was a 10 o'clock service. He took the early morning service. And then I took the evening service, and then we did a Q&A after that was over. So if you go to First Bossier, you can see that. I think I've shared that on my Facebook page. So it's there and available for you to check out as well. So Laverne, much needed. Sarah Beth, can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. Well, good. Thank you so much for that. And Dwayne, I know Dwayne is working on getting the video from both Bossier and from Sovereign Nations, and making sure that we have it on our YouTube page set up. And so time frame I don't have, but I know that that's being worked on. Okay. Incredible how atheists believe Christians aren't intelligent. Yeah, that is incredible. I will tell you that Dr. James Lindsay definitely does not feel that way. We had a great time with him, took a pic with him, and kind of stirred up some stuff in the social media space on Twitter. So it says Al Mohler wrote, I think in 2002, about biblical illiteracy in the American church. Barna had a study on the lack of biblical worldview in the American church. Can't wait for the doctrine of elections. So thanks so much for that, man. Yeah, those, in fact, we did a while back, we did an episode where we looked at Ligonier's, every year they do a kind of state of theology. In fact, I think you can go to state of theology. Let me make sure that that's the case. I think you can go there and check out their state of theology. Yeah, Ligonier 2020. Let me see if I can find this. Yeah, if you go to the stateoftheology.com, the stateoftheology.com, what you'll see there is kind of the questions that Ligonier asked. And like for the statement number 7, was Jesus a great teacher? But Jesus was a great teacher, rather, but was not God. You could see that that while 52% agree with that statement, 36% disagree. So a smaller percent disagree that disagree with the statement. Jesus was a great teacher, but he was not God. 52% agree with that statement. That's problematic, right? That's problematic. 52% agree with that statement. And so you could go there, state of theology. In fact, we did an episode where I went through a number of those questions. And I know Daryl and I both kind of exposited one of those a while back. We haven't done that in a while because of other pressing issues. But I want to encourage you to go check that out. That may be a helpful resource for you there. Let's see what we got. Questions. Q&A would be great a couple days after podcast drop. Interesting. Q&A would be great. We might try to do that. I might just do a live for those who are behind kind of the Facebook page, the private Facebook page that we'll have for those who donated. I may do a Q&A after a podcast drops and just answer questions that people have raised as a result of what we've talked about. All right. What else you got here? Both Matt Anderson, brilliant mind. And then both Virgil and I support her nomination. Oh yeah. That's from Just Thinking. I don't know what I was thinking there. What duty does a pastor have to teach their congregation about CRT? That's a great question. Man, I really was blown away by what Pastor Brad Jurgovich did. I really believe, just from a standpoint of ensuring that saints that the saints of God are equipped for works of ministry. One of the issues of ministry will be this attack on the gospel from those who hold to critical race theory. They believe that this is the gospel issue. We talked about this at great length. And I think I think pastors do have a responsibility to make sure that they have first a biblical foundation about the issue, and that they're not bowing the knee to critical race theory or any version thereof. They need to know about it. I think they need to have. I mean, we have a responsibility I say we as a pastor have a responsibility to protect the sheep, and I do believe that this is devouring the sheep. Folks are getting caught up in this whirlwind of extra biblical. I don't even want to use the word extra biblical, because it's just heresy. It's rank heresy. The idea that critical race theory can be an analytical tool by which to examine life and culture, when the Bible is sufficient for life, for godliness, for everything that so that the man of God may be fully equipped for every good work. If you truly believe scriptural sufficiency, things like CRT are not necessary. So again, I don't want to get long-winded about some of these answers, but cool. In the past, she says, in the past, Jacqueline says, in the past, I would not follow politics because of the fierce arguing that always erupt. I'm trying to get over that. Yeah, I would definitely encourage you to get past that, to look past that. But I want to encourage you to take a listen to the episode that's coming up, because I think it will be incredibly helpful, be beneficial to you to have a clear mind, a clear thought about how to navigate some of these issues. Okay. Always excited for your new podcast after meeting you at the G3 conference in January 2020. Listen to all the podcasts in your archives. Great content. Hey, thanks, Marilyn. Appreciate that a ton. Big time. Means a lot to us. She says, would you consider spreading into the Canadian context, knowing you're American, considering how much of the Canadian culture is greatly affected by American culture? Have you considered speaking into that? Yeah, well, I know just from what little I follow that the restrictions for speech are much greater in Canada than they are in the United States. And so I've kind of watched some of the pastors and preachers try to navigate that in Canada, and it's pretty impressive. I think from a standpoint of context, man, yeah, I'd be open to having a conversation around that, and learning a little bit more with specificity to the context. But more than that unique context, I think one of the things that we love about our show that speaks to everybody is that what we try to do is anchored in biblical truth, which does not, it isn't beholden to a unique context, right? As a believer, God's context is supreme, right? And if we have that context, that supreme context by which to address things, we're covered. We can speak to things with specificity to where we are. So I hope that helps. CRT, I've never heard of it till listening to your podcast. Yeah, I get it. Totally understand. I recently watched a video that discussed how most of the popular women's Bible studies are written by, for lack of a better term, false teachers. Curious if you might have a recommendation for biblically sound Bible study. Yeah, you know what? I would encourage you to get with the elders at your church, and then talk with them about what they would recommend. I want to be careful about providing recommendations. I think it's important, though, that you listen to the elders at your church who are providing oversight, shepherding of your soul. That's a question I would encourage you to ask them. I know that we'll have a couple of recommendations. Daryl has a wonderful group of ladies that he's connected with at Grace Community Church. They have a podcast I think he recommends. So I would encourage you to kind of listen there. But I don't think it's necessary for, and this will be something I'll say, I don't think it's necessary for women to feel like that they can only be taught by other women. I think that's problematic. I think women need to recognize that being taught scripture is them being taught scripture from whoever is doing the teaching, an elder preferably, who knows the scripture, understands the scripture, and can be helpful in that space as well. So as a believer, God's context. You liked what I said, that man, as a believer, God's context is supreme. Daphne, guess I came in late, but glad to have another podcast up. All right. Well, we're at an full hour. That went by incredibly fast. Any plans for an episode on the indoctrination going on in public schools? We talk about it often throughout podcasts that deal with the subject matter of CRT, BLM. I actually used what was happening in the educational space to set up our Church of BLM. I looked at education, I looked at entertainment, I looked at athletics, I looked at science, and walked through how Black Lives Matter and what they teach is filtering into all of those spaces and places. And then we addressed what we need to know about them and how we combat that. So, all right. Is it appropriate to bring apologetics into the church setting, or is it better to use other kinds of forms such as David? My answer would be all believers are apologists. 1 Peter 3:15 and 16, right? 1 Peter chapter 3, verses 15 and 16. In your heart, honor Christ the Lord as holy, always being prepared to give an answer to anyone who asks you for the hope that you have in Christ. Do so with gentleness and respect. All right. And so if you'll, that's the charge for every believer. That's the charge for every Christian. And so, apologetics are a part of the equipping of the saints for the work of ministry. So I don't know why anyone, in fact, I want to say that the sermon that Daryl gave was heavily just filtered with apologetics. How do you answer? How do you respond? How do you navigate that? All right. Josie. Oh, there you go. Kofi. Josie Stewart Harvey. I second. BSF. Yeah, that's a good one. I want to be careful about that. Just recommendations, especially if I don't know the church setting and that kind of thing. I want to just be careful with that. Miss Kelly, CRT is being brought into my son's private Christian high school by the teachers. We're trying to fight it. Yeah, listen, if I had $1 for every email that someone sent me that either said that CRT has invaded their church or invaded their Christian school, I'd be very, very wealthy. I wouldn't have to do much in the way of work. Thousands upon thousands of emails that have said the very same thing. If there's anything that BLM, that CRT has done, is it's really exposed where people stand on these issues, and it allows folks to know, here's where I need to stand, here's how I need to stand, and that they need to stand on the sufficiency of Scripture and the Word of God, right? I did more traditional Lifeway women's studies over the summer after 7 years of BSF, and I was like, where is the Bible study part? That's what I'm saying. You got to crack open that Bible. All right. I'm going to stop there. We're a little over an hour. Thank you all for joining. Thanks for staying so long, right? 90 plus, we had over 100 people sticking with us. And so thank you guys for doing that. Glad that you were here. Thanks for being a part. Share this on your Facebook page. Hit us with a like here. Go to justthinking.me/support and support us. Please, please, please be praying for us. We so greatly appreciate it. It means a lot to us. What else can I tell you? Be ready for the next drop on October 21st. Go and get on founders.org. I'll talk more about that in the next episode. And sign up for their conferences coming up. And get ready for the book that we have coming out. There's so much stuff happening. So many phenomenal things happening. You get on the emailing list as well. So you can do that by going to our website, justthinking.me, and we'll keep you up to speed. on all of this. We'll send you out info about when we're doing lives like this. Hopefully, at some point, I'll try to convince Daryl to join me on one of these, and we'll do something together. So it wouldn't be difficult for us to do it all from where he is, from where I am. All right. Hoping you guys are well. Take care. God bless. Good night.